Why you calling my line? I don't got time today. Give me the bag. I need a bag today. Tell me you love me, baby. Love when you lie to me.
What's good, what's good? That's Young Shawty, to myself, Queen of the Skull. And we are here today for the first episode of the third season with Ladies with Charisma. Super exciting, and I have special guests, the one and only, the saucy flavor. Y'all seen it, y'all heard about it. Too Easy Productions.
Hey.
Go ahead and introduce you guys.
Yeah. I'm Cam. I go by OK Cam. It's my production name. Yeah, I'm one half of Too Easy.
Dope.
Producer out of the Bay Area. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the other half, Tajin 415. Just call me Tajin. But yeah,
Dope.
producer.
So I want to start with, how did this duo even come about? Have y'all known each other forever, or like?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been knowing each other since, would you say, like 2015?
Yeah, 2015,
Yeah,
2016 or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
So we play in a band called the Afro-Cuban Ensemble
Oh shit.
in SF State. So that's how we met. That's crazy. We were just telling this story too, bro. Like,
No, yeah, literally,
yeah,
yeah, we were
like,
prepping.
we were prepping.
No, somebody else asked us like
Yeah.
in the session right before we got here. But yeah, we were at State, and yeah, we were in the Afro-Cuban ensemble.
Shout out John Calloway.
Yeah, John Calloway. I play trumpet, and yeah, he was on percussion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we were cool from then. And then we kind of like, went different ways. Like
Right.
musically, I was in Santa Cruz for a bit. And we both started like producing around the same time too, like probably like 2016 or some shit like
Yeah.
that. And then probably about like almost 2 years ago now, like a year and a half ago or something like that, we had seen each other just like on the gram, like, oh, okay, he's starting to put some beats.
I was like,
Right.
hey,
Oh,
crazy.
Taheen's getting a little saucy over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, I'm just like, I got to step up my game. And then we were like, oh, we should link up. We should start doing some stuff. And coincidentally, that aligned with us, like getting an apprenticeship, like an internship at a studio over in the city called Mothership.
I was about to ask about Mothership.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mothership,
It's
yeah,
over in
Secret
Secret
Studios.
Studios, like the big warehouse over there on Cesar Chavez.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know.
Right
it
there,
was within there.
DEO's there.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, so there's
J-Mo's
a
there.
lot of people over there,
Yeah.
but we got a spot over there. And yeah, on the first day of like the meeting or whatever, I didn't even know this bro was gonna be there. I just walk in, I just see him, I'm like, oh, what?
That's
Taheen,
crazy.
bro?
Yeah.
Like, damn. And then it was like instantly, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
bro. It's like, and
We're
ever
cooking
since
up.
we've been just like cooking like crazy and making hella stuff. Yeah,
Got
locked
you.
in. Yeah.
Individually. So how would you describe your sound?
Individual. Oh, I mean, honestly, like probably. I mean, I like I come from a musical background. I played like trumpet, like I said, piano, stuff like that. So like melodic melody is always like important to me. But then also just like rhythm is also hella important to me, to like bounce, funk. Like those are like some of the musical genres that I like listen to the most. Like grow up listening to like hella funk music, and like I come from some jazz too. So like yeah, some like definitely bounce melody. I don't know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something in there. But obviously like hella influenced by the Bay Area.
I love to
like,
ask that question.
Yeah.
Because Made by Harry, he comes from such a different type of musical
Yeah,
background, and he was expressing how like he really likes the rockish sound, but what's working for him is obviously the Bay hip hop sound.
Mhm.
Definitely.
So I was like, I
Mhm.
wanted to know, what about you? What's
Yeah.
like your sound?
I started basically like doing like salsa. That was like one of the first
Oh,
things I ever
shit.
played. Yeah, I was in a salsa band when I was a kid. And then I played congas, I played bongo. So yeah, just kind of taking from that, a lot of like shit, damn near just like very rhythmic, forward music, like and dancing, like just that. I feel like that's an important aspect for me.
Yeah.
I would say is just
for
like
both of us.
the
for sure,
dancing
yeah.
element. Yeah, for both of us.
It
like,
shows for sure.
yeah,
'cause
like
your
being
guys'
able
beats
to
definitely
just
got us
move,
up.
getting people moving and just fucking moving and grooving, all that
That's
shit.
awesome.
Like
Grooving and move. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I think that's definitely where we share that. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I mean it was dope because we
Brazilian
like
too,
yeah, we like we linked up. We were like in like a Latin band too. So it's like I've definitely like I
So it
fuck
was
with,
destiny.
You know, it was
Yeah.
destiny.
Apparently,
yeah,
it was just a lot of
Bro,
encounters.
it really was like off just serendipity,
Yeah.
straight up. Like I was like, when we started the internship, I was not expecting him to walk through the door. I was like, and we had just been messaging too, like on
Yeah.
Instagram and shit. I was like, bro, like let's get in the studio, let's collab. And then all of a sudden
Like
he just
that
walks through the
week
door.
or
I'm
some
like,
shit.
whoa. But ever since then, we just been fucking super locked in, like
Yeah.
going crazy, going like hella
For real?
consistently
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like
Right.
No,
it's
definitely.
been, we have our little.
You guys were vlogging some of your guys' stuff. I like that. It shows a little bit
Yeah.
of it. It shows a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of your guys'
We're
face.
trying,
We're
bro. Like
trying.
I was
Hey.
actually just thinking about that too before we got here. I was like, bro, like, do we have enough content? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's the
But
name of the
it's like,
game.
yeah,
now,
but
it's. I
it's
mean,
the name of the
that's
game.
like the best part about working together is like the process. Like
Mhm.
Right.
that we work like we just came from a session where it's like, yeah, bro was in there and we like cooked from scratch, just like in front of. We laid vocals down and everything, and
Yeah.
we try to keep like. I mean, before like working with him, I didn't really do that either. I was like kind of in-house producer, whatever.
Mhm.
I'd do shit, try to send some beats or whatever like that, but. Maybe that just stems from like our like background in live music or something like that.
Right.
But like he was just like, oh yeah, let's just cook this shit up in front of everybody. And I was
Yeah.
like, first time I did that, I was like hella nervous. I was like,
Yeah.
"Bruh, someone's gonna watch me like make this beat right now and
Yeah.
like judge it. But like, now it's just like it's second nature.
Yeah.
And we've gotten so used to like our workflow that like we can just pull that out and shit like that.
So do you guys like? Do you still do beats individually, or now it's like Too Easy Productions is what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for the most part, like we dedicate a lot of time into Too Easy, but
That's nice.
I mean, we always make beats on the side too. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Nah.
just sharpening the sword too. Like
Pretty
you just
much,
got to be
yeah.
on our own shit because sometimes, it's like you're in the group and then you have the group sound. Our
Yeah.
dynamic, the combination of both of our sounds, but it's like we're also. I can't forget where I come from, you know what I
Right.
mean,
Sure,
and
yeah,
my own
definitely.
influences, and just being like, okay, I'm secure in this, and I'm bringing this so we can amplify,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of us
No.
together.
Most of your I heard of your beats through J Stay True.
Yeah.
So
My
they're
boy, it's my
they're
brother.
fun, they're saucy, they're just fun.
Yeah.
And then I saw your guys' dice rolling together.
Yeah.
And that's just so dope to me. Like
Yeah.
it's different, bro.
Yeah.
Together you
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
definitely different. How was that process and experience? And let's just talk more about that.
Of dice rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The video's dope, the
Bruh.
song's dope, the
Yeah.
production's dope, the beat's dope. It's a dope song.
I appreciate
Hell
it. Thank
yeah.
you.
Appreciate
That was like a pretty like
Yeah.
looking back now, like like it was definitely we made that during a time like kind of like right now. Like right now I feel like we're in like a little bit of a grind mode. Like
Yeah.
we're just like
It's the
just
time of the year.
we can't even really like look at our surroundings because we're just like working hella
Yeah.
hard, which is
Real.
dope. But it was like that a year ago pretty much. That's
Yeah.
when we made that song like, and it was one of those sessions where like we came in like we had it booked with Ozer. I don't even know if Eastway was originally supposed to be there or not. Like he's always with
Was
Ozer, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was he not?
I feel like
Damn, I
I feel
hella
like
remember it
Ozer.
different.
That'd be even better. Like
Yeah,
that's
he
crazy.
just walked
like,
in.
Yeah.
Potentially,
Nah,
that's how
yeah.
it was. I feel like it might have been just
Damn,
one of
that's
those
crazy,
situations,
bruh.
like at least for that or Cha-Cha or something like that was like
I think it was the Cha-Cha one too. but
potentially, yeah.
I don't know,
But yeah,
those all
yeah.
happened at the same time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we did a song called Cha-Cha with J Stay True, and
Mhm.
that like a couple days later, Dice Rolling, like was
Yeah.
the session for Dice Rolling.
We were just in the
This is
flow state pretty
Yeah.
much, but yeah, no, they slid through, and we had like, I mean, we had like a different kind of agenda almost going into it, like, or like, and maybe because we were like that week or whatever, we've been making
Yeah.
a different type of beat type,
Yeah.
like more of like, I don't know, like what would you say, like I don't know, like up,
What, for like
like
Cha-Cha?
like yeah, kind of more like an up style. beat.
Yeah,
Like Dice
yeah.
Rolling is not really.
It's
It has a
playa.
bounce
It's
to
like
it, but
a
it has
playa.
it has a bounce, but
it
it's
is,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
like.
But it's not like
No.
you know what I
You
mean.
know,
It's just kind
It's
of
yeah.
vibey.
like
It's like I'm
It's-
smoking my blunt.
it's
I'm
vibey,
chilling.
yeah. So
Dice
we weren't really
Rolling.
like in that zone necessarily, but this is just an example of like what happens like in those sessions is like sometimes you just gotta switch, you gotta divert your plan, you know, like somebody asks you to do something else, like you just gotta be on it. And yeah, we started something else, and then like I think they were just like, oh, like I don't know, I'm not really feeling like what you're
Yeah.
doing, like we were just jamming with ourselves or something
Yeah.
like that. And so we're like, okay, like just let's switch it up, and we just
Yeah.
like switched it up and immediately like caught like a groove that like they were hella fucking with, and
Yeah.
then they got in the booth, like wrote some shit, like everything happened in there, like we recorded it, like
Yeah.
I remember like we worked on like the recording a little bit too, like we kind of built out the hook a little bit,
Right.
like, you know, because it
Yeah.
wasn't really, because it was all happening in session, like it
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily, it didn't come in with like verses and a hook written,
Right.
so like
Yeah.
it felt more collaborative that way,
Right,
essentially,
right.
like
Dang, I
which is
haven't done
super
that in
dope.
so long. That probably feels so good.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, people just
Yeah.
you buy beats or you just
Yeah.
find
Right.
beats that you like
Right.
and you write to them at your
Yeah.
own pace.
Yeah.
And then at a point, like now, I mean, for me personally, like I could write a full song, hook and everything within 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So after
dope.
a minute, you kind of make 100
Yeah.
songs in a week,
Yeah,
and
literally.
they kind of
Oh.
just become whatever. But I bet doing it the way you guys do it,
Yeah.
it's more like it's a process.
It
It's like it's a
is.
project. Each one
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
each one is a
Is
project.
a
but
Yeah.
project. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Literally.
dope.
From A to like, and you like see it through from like the
Right.
A to Z type shit.
Yeah.
And that kind of stemmed from like someone we worked with early on, Lex Culture. Like I feel
Yeah.
like that was one of our first people.
Yeah.
Lex Culture is super dope artist
Yeah,
out of
check
Oakland.
her
Like
out.
she's amazing singer, rapper. But yeah, that was like I feel like a breakthrough for us. And
Yeah.
when we worked with her, we kind of just developed this kind of organic mentality like
Yeah.
that. Where it's just like if you're vibing with the people and you're locked in, then you can just make something from scratch. And like
That's so nice.
if everyone's open to like, you know, because we had to be open to switching up a
Right,
little
right.
bit too, you know.
And yeah, even like the process of like songwriting too and everything like that. You know,
Right.
it was all collaborative, just bouncing ideas off of each other,
Yeah, yeah.
melodies and
Oh,
like.
you guys help with that too.
Yeah, I mean, like,
dope.
yeah, we try to, you know, we try to
If
get
they'll
in where
allow
we
us,
fit in.
yeah.
Yeah, if they allow us. You
No,
know?
I know, because as a
But-
rapper, we're
Yeah.
very like.
Yeah, you wanna
Not
be
trying
on
to
your
step
own
on
thing.
your toes.
So
No,
that's
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Like,
I think that's where that's like one thing that honestly we try to be like kind of hyper vigilant about. Like it's like everybody has their own process, you know. So
Right.
we want to come in and be able to complement that, you know, not necessarily interrupt it, because like you said, like fucking 20-30 minutes to do a full song, hook and everything, like you're like super locked into your process,
Right.
you know. So it's like, okay, if you're coming in, you're writing, you're like, all right, I'm ready. Boom, go in there. You feel me? Just like
yeah.
lay down some shit. And yeah, like when you're in there too, like we could suggest stuff, but we try to feel it out though, you
Right,
know?
right.
You gotta
Yeah,
feel it out.
yeah,
'Cause
'cause
not
it's
every
not- yeah.
artist is on the same like
Right.
time or wavelength as you. Some
Right.
people, I mean, some people are just like a little bit more locked in into like how
Yeah.
they do things, and you gotta respect that too. You
Mhm.
know, like
For real.
everyone has their own process. But
Yeah.
if they let us in a little bit, then I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm down. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
someone
Yeah,
asks
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, what do you think would go, or do you think that sounds good?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
give
yeah.
you my opinion. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
for
wanna
sure.
not
I
do
wish
that.
people would stop feeling so like less than when they take criticism or when they
Yes.
take, because it
For
could be
real.
like 100 times doper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe you guys are hearing something that I'm not hearing, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
That's a
So-
good way to think about it too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just better to not think, because at the end of the day, the music is for the people. Yes,
Yeah.
it's for
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
and yes,
Yeah.
we do it because we love it. But
Right.
if you're like in this and like business wise, you're
For
doing it for
sure,
the
yeah.
people, for them
Right.
to enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's like,
to create like the best product.
yeah, the best
you know?
product
Yeah.
that you can. Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
some personal like, oh, like, nah, your idea is bad. Like,
right.
Right.
no one's ever like that.
No,
like,
yeah.
But I mean, I've felt that before. Like, you know,
Right.
you can take things personally, but then
Yeah.
you just got to remember that, like you said, it's for the benefit of just the overall
Yeah.
vision and process and shit
Yeah.
like that. So
yeah.
that's a good thing to remember for
Man.
sure. Like,
and also just being secure, like in yourself and in your own process too. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that no one's ever taking something away by like being like, hey, you know, have you ever thought of it like trying it this way, or like, you know what I mean? Also the way you say things.
I was about
feel
to
like,
say
yeah,
tone
it's
really
the-
matters.
Yeah, tone really
Because
fucking
I've
matters.
worked with a lot of artists, and
Yeah.
I've never got like negative feedback from me telling them, hey, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really just important the way
Yeah.
you tell somebody, because if you're like, nah, bro, that don't
Yeah.
sound right, it's just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck you mean my bar don't sound
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like,
right.
just, I think, you know, it sounds cool, but I think you should do
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
has
it's-
anybody like ever
Yeah.
done, like, have you ever been on the other side when somebody kind of has like said something that maybe not in the right way to you,
Yes.
and you've been like, okay, like, chill
Yeah,
out.
so
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had many engineers, and I've had
Yeah.
some engineers that they're
Damn.
like just straightforward, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
You
kind of
know?
just gotta be like,
But I think, well, I've been doing music for a very long time, like since I was like
Got
10,
you.
12.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
I think I
That's dope.
understand the whole feedback, you know,
Got you.
like I take it in a positive way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I've also been to 100 programs to bridge the lower income with the
Man.
corporate. So they teach us these tools as
Yeah,
well. So
For
I think,
sure,
Yeah.
you know, me doing the extra stuff has taught me, like,
yeah,
you know, just don't overreact to everything.
all your experiences.
Yeah,
and
because some of the
shit.
engineers that have this attitude, or I feel some type of way from, have broke some of the
Yeah.
biggest records. So I'm all
That's
like,
true.
you know,
that's
I
true.
don't think,
Yeah.
maybe this is just
Yeah.
their character. They might be shitty, but
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think it
also
come from real
important,
well.
like it's like also important just to like also like you said, be secure. Like, you know, sometimes you'll take the advice. Sometimes it might not be the best advice
Right.
too. Like, but the fact that if you're open to it, like that's
Yeah.
cool. Like that's what I always try to do. We always try
Yeah.
to do in a session, like be like maybe try it this way. We'll listen to both ways. If
Yeah.
you fuck with it more this way, then we can go
Right.
with it. But if not, then we can just, you know, just take it with a grain of salt, essentially, like that. You know, we're not trying to.
So how do
push our
you
agenda.
guys deal with it as producers? Like in a producer standpoint, when you do a beat and to you guys it's perfect, you're like, this should sound dope.
Yeah.
And then the rap artist is like, nah.
Yeah.
That low-key happens like a good amount.
It
too,
happens
For
a
real?
good amount,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, I think at this point we're a little bit more like, we'll come in like knowing, like a lot of people we work with now, like we kind of know like what they're going for a little bit.
Like do some research.
We
at
do a
least
little
before they
research,
come
you know,
in,
like
you
we
know
try
what I
to
mean?
like curate it a little bit more. But like it's definitely happened before where we just get on like some other type of shit that we personally fuck with hella much.
Just like Dice Rolling. That's how Dice Rolling started.
Like
Right.
Dice Rolling
So it's
almost
like-
didn't even come out. Too,
yeah,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
Dude, and we didn't even know this until
Yeah.
like we saw, I don't know, Ozer had posted some clip or whatever that he was talking about how he didn't want to drop it or some shit because he was feeling like,
he
I
sat
don't
on
know.
that shit
like,
for a minute.
he
too.
did, and we didn't even know. So
Yeah.
we
No, I
saw
know
that
when
clip.
you
I was
said
like,
a year old, I was like,
Yeah.
a year
Yeah,
old.
bro. It's
Bruh.
only been out for like less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Or like no, it's been out like 4 months or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But it almost didn't even come out. Like, and I remember when we made that shit. Obviously, we're hella juiced off it. 'Cause
Right.
it was
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is different. Like,
yeah,
you know, Ozer's just one of those people that we would been wanting to work with anyway, and
He's
like,
dope.
and we felt like we had something like special to everyone. Like it sounded unique to him and sounded unique to Eastway and it sounded unique to us. So we were hella juiced, but then I remember just like sitting on it and be like, okay, like I wonder if he's gonna do it anything with it. Like, does, you know, we like should we mix
and we were
it?
like, should we hit him up? Like, hey,
Yeah.
yo, like you still fucking with
And
it?
meanwhile, like we were playing it for people
Yeah.
who would come through the studio and stuff. Be like, and shout out DJ Say Hey and Vaughn. Like he was one of those people I think behind the scenes who like really pushed for it because I remember playing it for him one time and he was like, bro, like what? Like, y'all are sitting on like what the hell? And he like hit Ozer up immediately. And was like, yo, y'all need to drop Dice Rolling. And then I think that made Ozer like kind of be like, oh yeah, like, you know. And I don't think it was anything like he didn't like the beat or anything. I think it was just literally like a different style. Like it was slightly different.
Because Ozer's, I don't know, shout out to you, Ozer.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's elevated in
Ozer.
many ways through his music. And at this point, like from
amazing.
just Paradise, like which is
Yeah,
so
for
different
real.
for him.
So different, yeah.
Super different. And then now to Dice Rolling,
Yeah.
a little bit more rap. So it's like
Yeah.
you're reminded, like, don't play with me. Like I still got
Right.
them
Sure.
bars. I'm
Yeah.
still coming in.
Right.
But
Yeah.
giving very much so industry. I could hear it in the radio. I
Yeah,
could, like, you know,
Definitely,
which I
For
think is
sure.
important. Talking about
yeah.
industry, do you, when it comes to, because we're from the Bay, and when we're very like, we're so about the Bay that we
Yeah.
kind of, we get so happy and comfortable getting the
Yeah.
love we get in
Yeah.
the Bay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But do you guys see out of the Bay, and do you fuck with the industry? Some people are opposed to it.
Yeah, bro.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, I do. Like I see an international scale, an international appeal, and I think that's like what we try to go for in our music.
Yeah.
Like also, yeah, you can't lose the flavor. It's
Right.
in us, you know.
Nah,
That's what I'm
fuck
saying.
that. Fuck the industry.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
I hate
No,
the
that's how
industry.
some people.
Nah,
be.
and I feel that.
And
Like
I respect both
yeah.
angles too. 'cause
Me
it's
too.
Like, the
That's
industry
true.
ain't
That's true.
never did nothing for like a lot of the people in the
Right.
band.
yeah, we
So
had to
it's
make
like,
our own
you
way,
know.
especially out here. We don't really have like the best or I just feel like it's more independent focused, you know what I
Yes.
mean? And so which is great. Like that fosters like a fucking hustler's mentality. Like
Sure, bro.
you get it out the mud and just like, you know, organic, just build your shit.
Right.
But also the industry can take you to a stage potentially that is like, but then you have to compromise other things, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Your own
Yeah.
sound, and like people fuck with the bass sound, I feel like, on an international level. You
Yeah.
know
I
what
think
mean?
I'm
So,
I
For
think
sure.
what
Yeah.
we're about and like what I like to see right now is like elevating just the Bay Area in general, elevating
Yeah.
the sound, diversifying the sound,
Yeah.
letting people know that it's like, you know, like it's not just hypey shit too.
Mhm.
Like people out here making
I
all
agree.
different types of music and really like making it big too. Like,
Right.
you know, like and innovating too. Like,
Yeah.
because a lot of innovation always happens
Yeah.
here. So
For
it's
sure.
like we can keep innovating and keep like pushing it on to the rest of the world, being like,
Right.
yo, this is where it's coming from. And
yeah.
I think it is trending that way, like just with the independent, like I mean, look at La Russell and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like that's kind of the industry now. Like in some
Damn
ways,
near,
what people
yeah.
are striving for
Yeah.
these days is to be like an independent hustler and like
Yeah. For
have your
sure.
own enterprise, like La Russell or like some
Right.
other people out here. Like, so I
Yeah.
think that like the trend is overall going that way, and
Yeah.
it is coming from the Bay. So like if we
Right.
can just keep pushing that culture, then like, you know, the rest of the world is gonna see it too. You
For
know,
sure.
Yeah.
like it already has. Like,
I agree.
Hell yeah.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Have you guys traveled anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just came back from well, I don't know if we just came back.
Yeah,
but
that
it's
was
been-
like a couple months, like 3
Yeah.
months ago.
We went to New York.
Oh, nice.
Um,
How was that?
Bro,
That shit was hella fun.
Everybody
Yeah.
that I've had, almost
Yeah.
everybody that comes to the podcast, like, I came from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went
Yeah.
like fucking with FNG people, or we met up with them out there and shit, and just fucking. Yeah. That
How
shit
was that?
lit. That shit was lit as
That was
fuck.
dope.
Like we had hella fun, bro. Like the day parties was lit, or the day party was lit.
The shows,
fucking-
I mean,
yeah.
just to even see
shows.
people in the Bay like rock a show.
Yeah,
in New
like
York,
that was
like,
crazy.
That's
So-
hella rare. Like,
Bruh.
like you know, like have a
Yeah.
packed house of people like seeing some like artists from like SF, the
Right,
city.
right,
Like
right.
that's
For
like
real.
that's like in
Yeah.
my opinion, that's a big like accomplishment for them. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I definitely heard Afterthought gets a lot of love in New York. Like,
He
Definitely.
does.
the love
He went to
that.
school out there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
dope. Did you guys get to network with New York artists?
Bro, we didn't, and that's
That's
why I
the
was.
funniest
That's
part,
exactly what
bro.
I was about to say. I
We
was like,
networked.
we were around. Yeah.
but like with people from California.
Yeah, that's the
Y'all
thing.
hella
I
funny.
was like, bro, like, I'm okay. This is great. We're all out here with people like
Yeah.
that we know and
Yeah.
Bay Area heads. But I'm like, I'm trying to see what's up with like the
Yeah.
New York people. You feel me?
Right.
Like, and yeah, like expanding the sound and you
We
know
slid,
just
we
getting
slid
the
out
funk-
to
yeah.
some like New York
Yeah.
events and shit. But like
yeah.
it's just the funny thing about just like people from the Bay in general. It's like
Yeah,
it's like we find each other no
Yeah.
matter what.
Right.
So I'll be talking
Literally.
to someone like meeting new people, being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is hella dope. I'm meeting this new person. They do this.
Mhm.
Where are you from? Oh, I'm from the Bay." Like, you know, it's like,
Yeah, you're
damn,
like,
they're
oh,
also from the
what the
Bay, and I
fuck?
didn't even know that. But we'd be in
Yeah.
a whole ass different state, you know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
and find that out
Brooklyn.
about each other. But that's just like, yeah, that's just how it is. Like once you travel outside of the home, like everyone kind of like links
Finds
up.
each other somehow.
Yeah,
For
somehow,
real,
yeah.
there's we were talking the other day about like the Bay to Brooklyn pipeline. I feel like there's a good amount of like
out to the
Bay
Bay to
Area.
Brooklyn
Yeah,
pipeline.
shout out the pipeline.
Yeah.
The positive pipeline.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's fucking I feel like there's just a trend of Bay Area artists and creatives
Mhm.
like moving out to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the stuff within the culture like resonates
Yeah,
as
for
well.
sure.
You
For
know what I
sure,
mean? And just being that more open, that more I mean, shoot, like I don't know. It's like
Maybe
a
more
vibe,
community based
Yeah.
than like LA or something like that. 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We've known hella people go to LA, and like I fuck with LA personally, but I think
Yeah.
like making the move down there is like, if you're looking for like coming up with a community, it might be a little more difficult to find
Right.
that like community down there. Rather, if you go to another like creative city or something like New York or some shit where they have
Yeah.
industry, but it's like everyone's just so on top of each other, like
Mhm.
physically, because it's like hella
Yeah.
packed and shit. Like,
Right.
you know,
For
LA,
real.
you gotta drive 30 minutes everywhere and
Yeah.
shit like that. So
For real.
it's a little bit
That's
harder to like hustle and like network
Yeah,
potentially.
and
like-
everybody's trying to come up too, and like in the certain spaces, I feel that, at least that we've heard about, like in LA, it's like, fucking like everyone's trying to be on top. Like the competitiveness is like, that's like at the forefront of it, damn near.
Right.
And like how you said, like I was in the Bay, I would say it's more community oriented,
For
and like
sure.
folks are like
yeah.
fucking with you. They'll put you on to shows and different stuff
Mhm.
like that. And like that's not to say that in LA that doesn't happen.
Right.
But there's just so many people moving from the whole world to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
try to
people think
make
of LA like you hear Hollywood, and
Yeah.
you just think like on my own, gonna make
Yeah,
it.
on my
I'm
own,
famous, like,
Right.
From
so
Kansas.
it's more
or-
like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
And out here, it's
Yeah.
more like, yee, like what's up,
Yeah.
like you know,
like, community events,
Yeah.
bro.
Bro,
Shit,
hey,
like,
slide through, like,
you
we
know,
fuck with
like,
you, yeah.
and I mean, honestly, they probably do have that in LA. I know they've
Yeah,
had that
yeah.
from different times in history, but like
Mhm.
from what I can tell, it's definitely a little more difficult to find for
To
yourself
break
and
through.
to break through to
Yeah.
that, because you're just like a smaller fish in
Smaller
a
fish.
bigger pond, you know. type
Yeah.
shit.
I agree.
Yeah,
I lived in LA and Gardena for like a long time.
got
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, that's why I started rapping in
Oh,
LA.
Oh
shit.
shit.
Yeah, and then when people in high school and just in general, people would tell me like, this has potential. I'm from the Bay, so I
Yeah.
knew like if I want to really take this for real, I
Yeah.
got to do it like where I really am from, where I
For
started.
sure, yeah.
I had a whole plan. I was already 10, so I'm like, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the queen of the skull. I'm gonna trademark that
Yeah,
shit. I'm
yeah,
gonna do this. I'm
yeah.
gonna do that, and
Yeah.
literally like manifested
Zingers.
everything. Zinger,
Zinger.
manifested the shit out of everything.
Yeah. For real.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
LA is definitely like intimidating more.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You started the dream in LA.
In
Some
LA.
people
Yeah.
start the dream outside and be like, they get a little ahead of themselves. They go,
Yeah.
I gotta go to LA
I gotta
right
go to
now.
LA.
Like,
Yeah.
but like you were out there, like already like building to come here
yeah.
and
I was like
go
a
crazy.
big girl in LA who listened to East Coast music
Yeah.
and Tupac. So it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
me like knowing that and just like people telling me I was in LA and they were like, you don't sound like you from here. And then I was in Frisco and they're like, you don't sound like you from here. I was like, all right, bitch, I'm universal then.
Yeah.
If you
Exactly.
can't really detect what is going
That's
on with me,
perfect, yeah.
this is great. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah,
finna
you don't want to
do-
get locked into a box like
Nah.
too,
Yeah.
you know, early, you
Yeah.
know, like that's just a if you can like be in between the shit, like that's even better because that means you just appeal to a larger
Yeah.
audience, you
Yeah.
know, like
Appealing to everyone.
yeah.
And at this point in my career, I've hopped on rock songs. I've hopped
So-
on,
yeah,
So
yeah,
at this
lit.
point, it's like
That's the way.
I'm like I understand what the definition of versatile
Yeah,
really
for
is.
sure,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
You gotta-
that's fun.
Sure, you gotta hop on a Harry rock song.
Yeah,
That
I
shit would be
know.
lit.
I've been trying to.
Trying to
You know
get
what's so
Made by
funny?
Harry Rock.
Because
Yeah.
when I first saw Harry's page, I was all like, damn, your beats are like hard, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, like how much are they? Da, 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 da. And it obviously wasn't in my budget or wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, again, manifesting. I was all like, God, please let somehow, some way, a beat just land on my lap.
Yeah.
Literally, like 4 or 5 months later, shout out Shimo Media. He does these like cipher mic drops,
Yeah.
and the beat he sends me it says made by Harry.
No way.
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
and
man, that's
like
sick.
That's
with
sick.
Nizzy, like they both
Yeah.
collabed, and it
Uh-huh.
was a Mac Dre type of beat, and I was
Classic,
like.
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
I was like perfect, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is so funny." Then he ended up
Manifested.
coming in to interview him, and I'm like, "Bruh," I'm like, but that always happens to me. Like when
Yeah.
I can't genuinely like afford something, or I genuinely can't. It's just not in. It's not the right timing. The
Mhm.
timing comes later in a way different way, like
For
a
sure.
natural,
Yeah.
Yeah.
flowy way.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, you just gotta have patience with a lot of
Real.
stuff.
Yeah,
like,
music. You
Yeah.
definitely, I think, in general,
Yeah.
like this industry of music, acting, like anything that you're doing yourself as a hustler, you got to be patient with that shit.
Yeah.
Super patient, and
Baby
you really
steps.
just gotta focus on what's next in front of you. Like you can't be like sitting there being like, well, I sent this bro 3 beats and now I'll
Yeah.
just wait for like
Right.
him to fucking,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you just gotta be like, who's in front of me, who's ready to go, like what else can
Yeah.
I do to like progress myself, because it's a waiting game, you know.
It
And
is.
everybody's
Bro.
on a much different timeline than you are.
For
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Crazy.
ever thought of doing like a tape of just of your guys' beats, like a compilation, like Metro Boomin did and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
we
we
were
have,
working
yeah.
towards that. Like, we got a couple songs in the vault that we were thinking
Yeah.
of. Like,
That'd be
putting on
dope.
a
I'd be
tape
slapping bag head
potentially.
shit, and I'd just be
I
like,
mean,
Yeah.
we were working towards like more like, I mean, eventually we want to try to do almost like a compilation album, like a Neptune style, like
Yeah.
with, like full songs we made with artists and stuff. But
oh,
Yeah.
cool.
a beat tape would be. Hella
Oh, were
dope.
you talking about beat tape or were you
Yeah,
talking
like a
about
beat tape, like
instrumentals,
just
yeah.
where
just straight instrumentals?
yeah,
though?
where people could
Oh,
just
okay,
kind
okay.
of like flow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My
I'd be
bad. I
down.
was thinking that when you said, because you said Metro Boomin, right?
Yeah, he didn't. He
Yeah.
have a awful. Do I got the wrong producer?
No,
They
no, no.
have a-
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Metro Boomin. But he came out like with artists on his songs though, right? Like,
No, doesn't
No,
he
I
have
think
a
he had
full?
a
He has a full
instrumental.
tape, just beats.
oh, it was just straight instrumentals. Damn, I don't think I heard that one. I heard the
Yeah.
ones where it was like fucking, The Weeknd was
That's why I'm
on
like,
it,
do I
hella
got the
people.
wrong artist?
No
But
shit, I'm
producers
tripping. I'm
are-
out the loop.
Producers are doing that now. I see
Yeah.
in the Bay. I see Baghead doing it pretty
No, he's
consistently.
Hell
dope,
yeah.
shout
And
out
I'm all
Baghead.
like,
Yeah.
that's hella fun. Like most of all, like when I'm in my feeling, I have a selected like type of sound that I go
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily like Baghead sound,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but like it's crazy because when I'm like in my feels or something, like I'll go to Bagheads and just be
Yeah.
like, let me see if I
Vibe
can
out.
find something I can
Vibe
vibe
out.
with,
Vibe
and
out.
like I'd be vibing out, and I'd be
Yeah.
like,
he
this
be
is
vibing.
dope.
He be vibing.
Yeah, he's a
No.
ethnic studies type beats and like all that shit.
He's
Everything you
interesting.
need,
It's super
bruh.
interesting. I'd be
No,
like,
bro,
Everything you
everyone
need.
has their
do that.
niche, bro.
The
Everyone has their
niche,
lane,
bruh, and that's
like,
going
the fact that
crazy,
he's
like,
successful out here and he's doing it like with his own sound. like,
Yeah.
that's just dope. It's inspiring. It's like that's what I want to keep going with our shit and just make our sound like like distinct, to, you know,
Mhm.
like to us.
Mhm.
And I mean, it is obviously,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
I think the thing with like the beats though is like we cook up a lot, but then we also
Yeah.
just make a lot of shit with people.
Yeah,
too.
and
So
it
it's
just
like,
always
Got
goes
you.
to the artist.
so it's
right
like
away.
going to the artist, like it's direct
Yeah.
to consumer type shit, which is
Right.
like super dope.
Dude,
That
but,
is dope.
So
but
yeah,
it's like we barely even have time to just like make beats like for no.
For
That's
real.
like a
reason.
good thing though.
It is.
That's
It
like
is,
business
it
at
is.
all
For now,
times.
for
Yeah,
now,
for now, for now. Well,
Obviously, it's not gonna be like that forever, but like we'll
Bruh.
have time to do our
Yeah.
shit. But like,
no, well, I was gonna talk about the Kinky story where like
oh yeah,
we were like, I don't know, do you know Kinky?
Mhm.
Yeah, bro, she's raw as
Wu-Tang
fuck.
Clan.
And so we had a session with her, and we had one beat that we were gonna play.
Mhm.
Like, and if that beat didn't land, like we were just like,
You're like, what we gonna do?
Fuck,
She was like,
just cook
why
up
don't you
right
play
there.
me some stuff?
Yeah, we were
what
like,
you
some
got? And we
stuff.
got-
Like, we were like, we got
I mean,
one
but
beat.
we
like,
were smart. We knew, we
yeah.
invited her in because we knew the beat we cooked up, like,
Mhm.
we wanted her to,
Yeah.
get on.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were confident in that.
Yeah.
But also, that confidence was like, if it didn't land, like,
Yeah.
we would have been like, oh,
but we
she
would
didn't
have
have any
pivoted
time.
though. Yeah.
She-
He said we
But-
would have pivoted
we
though.
No, but she didn't have any time to like cook up, and so we just had
Yeah.
one pre-made.
Yeah.
And like,
she
luckily we
was
played it,
fucking
and
with
she
it.
was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm fucking with this." And
Yeah.
Nice.
but like, yeah, we kind of fly by the whatever seat of your pants or some shit. I don't know. What is that saying? I don't know.
Bro, I've never heard
You
that.
never heard that?
No, I've never heard that, bro.
Was that
All right,
did,
trademark that. Right?
Trademark right
did
now.
that situation like make you guys aware to have more beats on standby for some artists, or did you guys were just like fuck it, like that was just an experience?
I mean, it's definitely a wake up call.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about it too. We were like, bro, we gotta
maybe having two.
Yeah, like it's been a
3, 2.
conversation. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
been a
not
conversation.
all the time
we got a
that we're
couple
like that,
yeah.
you know, like we got some shit in the vault for sure,
Mhm.
but like definitely we need to it's like interesting
Yeah.
to like prioritize time like outside of it, like
Right,
job, like,
right.
we need to like have shit.
I know I'm acting like
ready.
you guys don't have a life. Like you
You
guys are
know,
only two,
yeah,
two easy
yeah.
productions.
I mean,
shit,
damn near,
low-key.
bro. Like, I don't know. I dedicate a lot of
Yeah,
fucking. This is
we
a
do
whole
it,
full time
yeah,
job. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
We
Just
really dedicate because we
Yeah.
engineer too, so like
yeah,
we're like in there recording, we're mixing, mastering. Like I'm mixing projects and shit like that, mastering shit like. So, but yeah, no. So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot of
For real.
audio, a lot
So
of
you guys
sounds.
engineer and mix and master songs that are not produced by you guys as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
dope.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
yeah. Just
Um,
run like just regular.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
do our own
tracking
shit obviously
sessions.
too,
Yeah.
but then yeah, I mean, just trying to be as multifaceted in this like
Mhm.
industry as you can. Like the more
For real.
skills you have, the more valuable you are. Because like
Right.
it's hard just to be. I mean, look at you. You're out here. You got this whole setup. Like
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
you can't just be you know, you can't just have. Like you can be really good at one thing, but like you kind of have to be really good at a couple things nowadays.
Yeah,
so it's
for
like,
real.
And it's like they used to say like, oh, like
You need a resume of your
Yeah.
talents. That's just
a
crazy to me.
resume of your talents.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you could be talented in one thing, but I
Yeah.
swear I used to think I was like the rawest in Northern California,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, that's not enough. Like
Yeah,
you could
it's
be the
not.
rawest, but it's not enough.
You gotta be the
not enough,
rawest
bruh.
in hella different.
Yeah, and
And then
places.
you know what
Type
it is
shit.
about music too, like, I guess industry wise, because you know, like community wise, if you're good, they'll love you. They're gonna
Yeah,
show you
sure,
love.
yeah.
But industry wise, like they want to see if you can handle business for real.
Right.
That's
Like
right.
you could be talented or whatever. You can,
Yeah.
you know, have an image that's beautiful. But like, do
Mhm.
you know your business? Can you generate me money?
Yeah.
If I give
Mhm.
you money, can you make that money back and
For
more?
sure, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I think that's like really important as well.
That's like low-key one of
Super
the hardest
important.
things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some shit that we're trying to figure out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just
Too,
get
as
better
a
at it, you
part.
know? It's just
Mhm.
like, cause you see people like who really made it like off of just the fact, like you said, that they're just like straight business oriented. Like
Yeah.
they just know how to hustle. They had the leverage
Yeah.
from like the talent or whatever they got, but like
Right.
most of it comes from their business mind. So yeah, that's definitely some shit. But I mean, if you have a product that you can
so
put out,
Put
sell
out.
and shit,
Yeah.
then like, yeah, you gotta go as hard as you can to market yourself,
sure.
you know, in that way. So
And also, yeah, I guess like the business mindset makes your music like more marketable because you're like,
Yeah.
sure.
okay, now I have an audience that I have to appeal to, and then you know whatever, and even a broader or trying to like, I mean, that's all marketing,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah.
Shout out to
So-
Snack Sensei.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Shout out,
Snack
shout out, Grant.
Sensei,
He's
man.
really
Yeah, for
consistent and
real.
Talk
good.
about marketable.
Marketability. Look
know.
at
My
that
boy,
man.
my boy out
Wow.
here
I'm about to
really-
hire you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, for
yeah.
real.
Yeah, no,
Right.
he's really consistent and good, and yeah, it's like like at the beginning, it's all love, bro. But at the
Hell
beginning,
yeah.
I used to skip them, and I used to be
Yeah.
like, skip, because I would see it and see
Yeah.
it. But at a point, like
you can't
I'm,
skip it.
You can.
Dead.
You
Yeah,
can.
At a point, bro, it's
Yeah.
just too.
You
and, then,
can.
and then my homies be sending me the shit too, and then it's
yeah,
like-
it was
like,
just at
but
a
then I'm
point.
kind of like, oh, yeah,
I'm at
bro,
work
like,
hungry as
yeah.
fuck. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
want to see this
know.
shit,
I
bro.
know, bro.
Like,
Come
He's eating a
on,
fucking
dude,
a
he's making
fucking
me-
michelada with like hella shrimp and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, bro, that shit got like 20 shrimp.
I
on
know.
it,
I'd be
man.
like, how did he finish that
Yeah.
shit?
I know, bro.
But I know, bro. I was like,
I'm trying to go,
yeah,
bro, because I know he doesn't eat it all, bro. I'm trying to just be the
Right,
bro,
be
who,
there, like-
finishes it up, like you know, he has a
Yeah,
one bite.
yeah.
He can't, bro. He can't.
Tryna-
He can't eat it all, bro.
Nah, come on, bro.
no.
This is there's
I
some shit
wanted
going
to
on
talk-
behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
no,
man.
I'll be your assistant.
I want to
Your
talk a
assistant.
little bit about your relationship with Jay Stay True and how
Hell yeah.
those songs came about, like Donut, and just
Yeah.
like everything that's so up tempo how you do it. Like,
Yeah.
well, now that you said that you were in like salsa background and you play the congos and stuff like that. Like that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about it and just you guys went to Miami, correct? And like shot some of the video there.
Yeah,
that video was
lit.
dope as fuck too.
Bruh, hell yeah, man. That shit, bruh. Like that's my brother right there, Jay Stay True. And yeah, like you said, like I basically tried to approach making music with him, with all of those elements in mind, like just the danceability, the feel good, like when you were saying just fun, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what the vibe that I get from him, you know?
Got
like
you.
every time I'm around him, like we're always just cracking jokes, having fun, like I don't know, he's a jolly ass dude. So like
Right.
I'm always like, you know what I mean? He's a jolly ass dude, like bro, like and
friendly guy.
He's a friendly guy, you know. He was like, give you a little bear hug,
Right.
Big bear hug, but yeah, no, basically like a lot of the beats that I made with him, like also in the similar vein of just like cooking up right there in front of him, you know, and so like getting the input from him, and implementing that into the beat, yeah, having a lot of like the Latin influence, you know, you could hear and stuff like the little percussive stuff that I hella fuck with that. But yeah, it's with him it's like and he's always like changing his like he's like, oh, I want some shit like this, like the one that you said like we shot the video in Miami for Snip Snip, like
oh yeah,
he was like okay, I want to do like kind of like a dembow type beat, you know, and I was like okay, yeah, like I'm down. Like I didn't go full dembow, you know, but I did that little element, and so it's just like it's crazy like to see how it's like super popping now, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean even Snip Snip, like it wasn't full that, you know, like there was elements of other shit in there, but yeah, it's like fuck, like he was like always like forward thinking, or is like pretty forward thinking about what his sound is. And
did you guys meet through the music, or were you guys friends already?
Nah, I met him through fucking the Y. I used to work at YMCA with him.
Yours' chemistry is really good.
Yeah. A lot of people say that like, oh, they're like, oh, y'all just like met each other not that many years ago, like in 2019. So it's like ever since then, like we've been like super locked in and shit. But
damn, I thought y'all fucking diapers.
Honestly, the best, But when I was like a fan, I was like, bro, Tajin and Jay are going fucking crazy.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
like a fun.
Their
it's
sound
fun.
is super locked in, and
fun,
it's hella
bro.
fun. And like when he performs too, like he just like he just brings the fun energy, and that's kind of what you want, like as an audience member too. When you're listening to this shit, like seeing it live and stuff, you just want some like fun shit, like y'all sound crazy.
Yeah, right on, bro. Yeah, I was like.
And then I saw he did like a logo thing with donuts, so it's interesting how that song turned into like. He's kind of like pushing it more.
Mm-hmm,
and I
for
think
real.
that's
Donut
good because we drop songs and we kind of like let them do what it's doing, and we'd be like, all right, next. Yeah. But I think it's important to always double back to your song.
Hell yeah, there's no expiration date on that shit. You can always come back and fucking re-promote that shit, and yeah, like that's the beautiful thing about it. I think like I was a little bit hard-headed when we were having those conversations. I'm like, right, we need to go hard like now, you know, like when you drop it, which is it's also important, but that doesn't mean that you know you can move on and then come back to it, revisit it, and bring it back into the spotlight.
One example I heard of that, like that was hella dope, like Guapale, you know, the Closer, in Oakland, she released that like 2 or 3 times. Like she dropped it on dropped it on one of her debut albums. It didn't really do numbers, and then she like re-released it again.
That's crazy.
And kept putting it on her new albums until then it became super pop. Like, you know, so it's like you got to believe in your songs sometimes, you know. So that's like a good. So hey, re-release Donuts.
Re-release again, bro. Coming soon. I'm gonna remix it or some shit.
That's hella dope. On a more personal, like, let's talk about like who you guys are as individuals. Like, who is Cam? Like, you know, you were in Santa Cruz. How the hell did you end up back here? And
who is Cam?
You know,
who is Cam?
Yeah, like I was like on your profile, just spying a little bit. You seem like a very adventurous person.
Bruh.
You seem like a, you know, you have very.
I love that.
Very friendly person. Like, so what was your life like?
Yeah, adventure, friendly, bro. All those are great. I love those descriptors. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Berkeley. I just like been in the East Bay my whole life, and then, Berkeley High. Went through like all the schools out there that were like that was just like, I mean, obviously it can't not influence who you are as a person. Like having just experiences in like those communities and shit like that, and like, you know, just super like open-minded, like upbringing, like basically kicked it with people from all over the Bay Area, like my whole life pretty much. So like just got a lot of influence from everywhere. Like music, obviously a through line through that. Yeah, so I ended up in Santa Cruz. I went to school out there. So I went to state for a year. I was just hopping around. Like I went to Laney. I was like in the Peralta, BCC. You know, I was just going all around. And then I ended up in Santa Cruz. Shout out Santa Cruz. Beautiful place to live. Yeah, no, the school's like was cool out there too. I got to do some music. I played in
I was
like
about to say that.
bands.
Did you do music?
Yeah, bro. I was in some jazz. I played trumpet out there a little bit. I was in like a mariachi band at one point.
Hey,
that's
I was,
crazy.
you know, adventurous. You gotta be adventurous.
With Cam, bro. Like, that's why I fuck with
you know.
Cam.
I had the bow tie out.
Bro.
Do you incorporate your trumpet experience?
I'm trying to bring it in right now.
You need to.
Yeah.
I know. It's just one of those things where it's like I've incorporated it slightly in, but then it's like when I first started making beats, I was like, trumpet don't belong in this shit. Like,
you gotta
but
make it
crazy.
belong.
You gotta
now.
make it.
But nowadays, I'm like, people are like, when they're like, oh, bro, you gotta put some trumpet on
Yeah.
here. So it's like I'm bringing it back. Hey, soon it's gonna debut soon.
Coming.
Maybe by the time this comes out, I don't know when it does.
Hey.
Right.
There'll be
Yeah.
something with some Too Easy shit with some trumpet on there.
It will be, man.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I just feel like I've had a pretty. I mean, I love the Bay. I love Northern California. It's just been like great to me. But yeah, I like to pop out every now and then.
Pop
Pop
out.
out.
Hey, pop
I
out.
like to pop out. I like
We
to pop
popping
out. Me and him,
We
we
popping out.
we
You know
popping
what I
out.
mean?
We're trying to go travel some more.
Yeah,
bro.
a lot more.
He's been down in Puerto Rico a couple times. I'm trying to go out.
Oh,
there.
yeah?
Like,
Hell yeah. I just came back. Well, not just came back. I keep saying that, but like earlier
Feels
in
like just
January.
yesterday.
It honestly does,
Yeah.
but yeah, in January
Low-key.
I went. Yeah.
That was this
That shit was lit, bro. I went with my homie, with the homie Laka. Shout out Laka.
Yeah.
And Alvin, and we just went out there, bro, and that shit was lit as fuck. I fucking super fuck with Puerto Rico, the
Yeah.
culture,
Oh,
the
For real.
the
I could definitely see you all up and down
Climate.
that bitch. Like,
Yeah,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
I already know, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta go out. I was telling him you gotta go out and do some music stuff and like
Yeah,
those
hell
music
yeah.
stuff out there
Yeah.
because I already know they would be super fucking with it.
yeah.
Yeah, taking the music overseas usually works. We just be so scared to do it. But
Right,
9 times out of 10, they eat us up. They love us. They
For
love
real,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
For real.
And if you're just doing you too, like
Yeah.
it's just being authentic. Like imagine if we would have gone to like Puerto Rico and just try to be on some like whatever,
Puerto
like
Rican
oh
shit.
yeah, I want to be like no, we're not fucking Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
You feel
Right.
me? So it's
not
like
gonna work.
we don't got the same sauce, bro. Like
Right.
it's different,
You
you
gotta
know.
bring your sauce.
So you gotta bring your own sauce.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
so-
love where you're from first before
Right,
you
for
can
sure.
go over
Yeah.
there. But
Tell me
yeah.
a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I grew up in San Francisco and Daly City, both basically. So like I lived in the city since till I was like in 5th grade, and then I moved to Daly City. Fucking lived out here, and yeah, went to school in Pacifica, high school, Oceana. Yeah, that shit was cool. But my whole life I've always been in like arts programs in San Francisco, and like that's how I just met hella people. I grew up going to the Mission Cultural Center. I still go to the Mission Cultural Center. My auntie and my uncle lead this Afro-Brazilian dance contingency called Fogo na
Oh,
Roupa.
yes,
So,
I've heard of it.
yeah,
Mhm.
so we perform every year in Carnival, and yeah, that's where like I grew up playing in that, you know,
That's
Mission
hella
Cultural
dope.
Center, like just been in the Mission Cultural Center, like Mission Cultural Center like raised me to be the artist that I am today, you know. So shout out MCC, like that shit is fucking
That's hella
super
dope because I'm sure
influential.
that's like their
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
their goal is
Generations
he's
is
like
to have
the,
that,
the
you know?
ideal.
I'm the
Yeah.
protege,
Yeah,
yeah.
the ideal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we did it. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got one.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hella
So-
dope.
So yeah, that's my shit. But yeah, MCC, I always fucking with it. But I actually, we were talking about like art and getting like just being involved in the world of art, and like yeah, like I used to do theater too back in the day when I was a kid. And yeah, just different facets too,
Yeah,
like
man.
visual arts, like
yeah, both my parents
audio,
my whole family
visual.
are visual artists, like painters
Yeah.
and draw, like yeah. So like yeah, just that's just a big part of it, just our lives in general.
Yeah.
Just like being involved in the arts in some way, in some form, and like trying to like support all aspects too, because there's hella dope photographers, videographers out here. You know, people who are really like putting in the work, like outside of just the music stuff, that like make the music stuff even better. You know,
yeah.
like so
It needs it. It
mhm.
needs that
Mhm.
visual component sometimes. It needs like it's a whole experience. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And so yeah.
So it's safe
shout
to
out.
say like your careers is gonna be music. Like that's what you guys are choosing.
Yeah, I would.
What did you want
I
to
would
be
say-
when you
man?
grew up?
Oh my God!
I
Now
definitely didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Yeah. I
Fuck.
wasn't thinking music.
We're
I don't
getting
know.
into some shit.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I literally like was fucking like spiraling about this like a week ago. I was like,
Man,
what
like,
am I
first
doing
thing,
with
what
my
am I
Still
life?
not
doing?
grown
Like,
up.
No, I
yet.
feel
yeah.
it.
I'm still not grown up.
I'm still not grown
deciding.
up.
No.
Nah,
No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
for real. But yeah, quarter life crisis shit. You know what I mean? We go through it, but yeah. I think like I've always knew that I wanted to do something in the arts, like just because that's what I was always around. You know, as a kid. I was never really into sports or nothing like that. Like I never really did. I did sports, and I was like, it's not really for me. You know what I mean? So I've always just been in the arts my whole life. So I'm like, damn, like this is for sure a continuation of that. You know. And yeah, I'm trying to take it
Yeah.
to the next level. Bro.
I don't think I ever really like felt like I had like necessarily like a career in the arts, or maybe I knew in the back of my head that's what I
Yeah.
wanted, but I was just like, nah, it's not really the route for me or something like that. But yeah, because my family, we grew up. My dad like owns a small business. You know, we've just been like, my grandpa had that business before him, so it's like we kind of just like have always just made it work. But we're all artists, and I used to watch him and my family like do all their stuff on the side and still be able to express themselves while still like working other jobs or something like that. So it's like, for me, I was like, I didn't necessarily view it as like a potential career or anything,
Yeah.
or even like take it as seriously myself until I started being like, just like, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it was like the pandemic or something like that, where I was like, okay, like this is truly like what makes me happy. And like,
Yeah.
and like whether I do anything else, I'm still going to be doing this.
Right.
So
Right.
like the more work I put into this, like maybe I can do a little bit less of the other shit. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm at that point now where I'm just like, yeah, basically doing that as much as I can in any music stuff, like any audio stuff, any industry entertainment shit. Like I started doing like a year ago, I got an opportunity to like go, or not less than a year ago, like go on tour doing like stage shit and like audio stuff for a couple bands
That's
and
so dope.
groups. And now that's just kind of opened the door where I can like kind of do a little bit more here than like I used to be able to do. But yeah, it really wasn't until like really putting the work with you where I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like this is
You
actually
just-
My
like,
happy place.
Yeah.
no, for
I
real,
felt
like
that
yeah,
too,
this
honestly.
is like more possible, you know?
Yeah.
I
And
wanna
having
m-
yeah,
On a more personal level, do you guys have girlfriends?
I do. Yeah.
You do? How do you?
Oh no,
You
no,
stay
I'm
super
single.
quiet, I'm
Yeah,
like-
no, I was waiting
I'm
for
like,
him to
claim
answer.
her.
Yeah.
No,
claim her.
I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not claiming no.
No, how is
Claim
that?
her.
For real.
We're getting into it today.
How is that balancing with the music and the traveling and stuff? Or is she like there involved?
Yeah, I think it's been super like easy. I'm lucky to have a partner who's like super just like understanding and
She likes
you
the
know,
duo?
hell yeah,
Nice.
hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, bro, like I
You'd
got
be
my
surprised how
job,
many
you know?
people be like
It's
so
crazy.
weird
People
when
are
it
a
comes to
little-
artists.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe like a little like, you know, like
It's
I don't like
stressful.
you spending time with all
Yeah.
someone else besides me type shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's really people like that.
Possessive or whatever.
Yeah.
He's
so-
just possessive or
For
whatever.
For real
No,
though,
but
hey,
no.
like nah,
he's
it's
lucky, bro. No,
yeah,
he's
for
got a
real,
great
for
one.
real.
That's
For real,
super dope.
because that's a major thing, like in my life, you know. And
Yeah.
if you can't accept that, like I don't know if I would be in the relationship that I'm
Right.
in. You know what I
No.
mean? But yeah, shout out to Steph. That's my girl. So
Shout
yeah.
out.
Okay,
Shout out to
Steph.
Yeah, Steffi.
Steffi. But yeah, that's
Damn,
super,
yeah,
that's super
is
dope.
that too much? Did
No,
I say?
no.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just I love
I'm like
it.
saying
I love
names
it
and
too.
shit.
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
I
cool.
love
it's
it
Yeah.
about
too.
time. Stuff got a shout out.
Hey, for real. No, I was like, you know, she told me, she was like, can you shout me out? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you
Yeah,
got your
cool.
shout out today at
Steffi.
Ladies with
Yo,
Charisma.
there
Yep,
you go.
yep.
No, she's great.
Before we
Yeah.
wrap it up, I'd like you guys to leave the people, whether it's upcoming producers or just artists in general, with a piece of advice. One each.
Okay. I would say. Can I think about this?
Yeah.
Real quick?
All right, I feel like this is something I would maybe like tell myself. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to get in to like overthink a lot and get in your head and not put your like art forward, or like not claim it sometimes. Like if you're not like super secure in it, you know. Like I feel like for a long time I would be like not tell people like I make beats or I'm a producer or whatever. probably just because I just didn't think it was good enough or anything. But I think it's a big part of like the growing process and like getting better at anything you do is being like just claim it, regardless, and put it out there, regardless of whether in 5 weeks from now you're gonna make a better thing and that thing's gonna sound like shit or whatever like that. Just like put it out there, track your progress, and let other people track it too, because that's just what makes you better. That's like what growth is, and like you'll stunt yourself if you just like hold it back pretty much.
Man.
He
Yeah,
said, "Damn,
that's real.
fuck."
No, that's a good one. Well, shit, that got me thinking too. Like, I would say that for folks that it might be difficult to even get to that place too, like to fucking, but like try to surround yourself with folks who like see the vision. You know what I mean? And like, and uplift you and like also hold you accountable and everything like that. Because I feel like that's like an important aspect of like my own success too. Like I had people around me being like, bro, your beats are raw. Like, don't hold on to this. Like, put that shit out, you know? And like fucking people like Jay Stay True who believed in the vision, you know, and was like, keep going, keep doing your shit, you know? And so, yeah, like I'm lucky. I'm blessed to have a positive like support system around me that I can, you know, folks that I can lean on and bounce ideas off of and that I respect, you know?
For sure.
And so like for the folks who struggle, my bad, I just seen my spit come out. For the folks to struggle with that, like there's no real answer, you feel me? Because I can't be like, hey, just go out and make friends, because then what if that's like too forced or whatever? But
They end up fucked up.
But if you're doing it, but if you're doing it, people will come.
You
know,
surrounded yourself with those people though.
Yeah, I did.
You know,
I did.
Like, you chose.
I did choose.
In some ways, your friends, your community, like you don't choose them, but in a way, you kind of do, right? Like you chose, like, okay, I'm gonna put my time in this world because I love it, and then these people are gonna be around that, and I'm gonna fuck with them more, and then you know, it's like you kind of like build your own world in your community. So like in a way, it's like that was also on you, like you know. But yeah, it starts from in here, but then it also gets added on by like everyone around you too. So both are important. Yeah,
those are super dope. I like those. Those were nice. For the people, where can they find you guys? Where can they find you guys, and what's coming up next for you guys?
Man, so we just dropped a song, 27 Club with Eastway, under Too Easy. So that's where you can find us.
It's on Eastway's page, streaming everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. 27 Club, super dope song. Yeah. We made that beat out of a can.
What?
Yeah, a can of gin.
Yeah, people don't even know that. This is an exclusive.
Actually,
right
Afterthought produced on it too.
Yeah,
so I gotta give Afterthought a shout out.
We were at Afterthought's house, and we were doing this like idea that we came up with, where we would go out on the street and we would have like somebody choose an item out of a bag, and then we make a beat out of that item. And so we got this can, and we made this beat out of this can, like on some crazy shit, like sampled.
There's a video of it,
actually. And there's a video on our Instagram on Too Easy Productions. And then Eastway hopped on it, and we were like, wait, this is a little better than just an Instagram video. So we made a full song out of it.
And we added shit to it, like the final product. We added like 808, and you know, we had to boost it up, but
can type beat.
That's hella dope. That's hella interesting. That's hella dope. Y'all hella creative, honestly. Yeah, that is different.
It's different.
Dedication, hard work plus patience.
Yeah, but you can find me on Instagram at Tajin415, TAJIN 415, and yes, that's my real name.
That is?
Thank you.
Yes,
that's my real name. Yeah, that was one thing that I thought about today, that I'm like, every time I meet someone, they're always like, wait, Tajin is your real name? So I wanted to let the world know Tajin is my real name. That's my birth name.
What?
Yeah. So Tajin,
it's his coming out party.
This is my coming out. That
Tajin is his real name.
My real name.
I thought it was because your beats are like flavorful.
Yeah,
like
hey, I mean, you could take it and interpret it. Like that's what I like. Now I'm giving I feel like I'm giving up too much now. No, I want to still be the mysterious artist, bro.
I mean, his beats could be flavorful, and his name could be
right. But yeah, Tajin. Look it up. Look up El Tajin on Google, and you'll find out the meaning of Tajin.
Damn.
Yeah.
And Cam is also my real name.
Right.
I just want to get it right. You know, it's also my. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, OK_CAM_. And then our shared we have Too Easy _productions, right? Too Easy Productions on Instagram.
_productions.
Yeah. And we got I mean, we got a lot of shit right now. We don't know what's dropping next.
The
but
vault.
like
Something's dropping for sure.
We have a lot of good music with a lot of cool artists out here. Like, we've been working
a lot of
people.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see you guys grow together. I'm excited to see you guys grow individually and just to hear the sound, take over the Bay.
Yeah, well, bro, thank you for having us on.
No,
this
fucking
whole setup is dope as fuck.
Excited to see this grow.
Yeah,
too.
excited
like,
to this go crazy. Ari, we missed you.
Yeah, Ari.
Yeah, but
good.
hey, it's all good.
But yeah, this was That's Yana Shawty, 2SF Queen with a Scope. That's Yana Shawty, 2SF Queen of the Scope. And this is Ladies with Charisma. Y'all stay tuned. This episode coming soon.